Morning, everyone. Morning. I don't see any new faces here, I believe. Oh, have Reverend Saundria Jennings. I knew I was going to mess that up. But and then the person, what's your name? Sit. Z. Lewis. Okay. Welcome. I don't think I see anybody else. So look, and welcome. It's March 23rd, 2025 to the Center for Spiritual Living in Visalia. And we're going to have a lot of good energy here. A good talk from Reverend Saundria. I'll get it one of these times. Saundria Jennings. And we're going to have some music from Chase Sanborn and vocals from Hope Garcia and her daughter Dawn. So we got a lot of good things going on here. So I think we're ready. Let's see. We have Donna or announcements.
Thank you. Good morning, all. It's lovely today. We did have a great talk this morning about positive thinking, which is what we're all about. So let's go to announcements. I just thought I'd put this up again, recycling. I went to an event yesterday and brought back all the bottles. So if you ever go to an event where there's bottles collecting, bring them here. We're making a little bit of money every week on our collection in the back. And you just have to make sure they have the CRV logo on them and we can recycle them. New date for our Body, Mind, Spirit Expo. April 26th. So we'll be talking more about that, but put it on your calendar. Those of you who can help us, we're going to need a lot of volunteers that day. And it's going to be wonderful because now all the people that couldn't come back in March are signed up to come this time. Reverend Jack wanted me to put this up, and I still don't know what he's got planned for Easter, but he wanted to invite everybody to come in live for Easter on April 20th. So think about that. We hope people maybe out there in cyberspace will come in too for that day. And this is what's very exciting. Next week, our wonderful Saima is going to be doing the special presentation. Actually, she won't be here because next Sunday is the last day of Ramadan in the Muslim tradition, which is called Eid. And Eid is a big celebration that after this month of fasting, you can eat and you dress up. This is one of her pretty outfits. And you go and you donate, you go and to pray, and then you go and donate to a wonderful cause. And it's the end of this month of doing things. So what she's doing, she's already done it. She has, and Saundria, are you the other one in that video? Is that right? Somebody else is in that video with her. Oh, okay. I don't know who that is then, but there's three people in the video, Saima and Reverend Jack, and they're talking about Eid. And she talks about how Eid, lots of different traditions in the Muslim faith, but how it brought her here. There are similarities, and she does talk about what there are similarities to what she grew up with and what we have here. So I hope you'll be here. It's going to be a very different. We're doing some neat, different things lately. I love it. And they'll be doing the video, and we'll learn about a whole different custom. And that is it. We'll give it back to Stan.
Thank you, Donna. Okay. And let's see. Next thing we have is our mission statement. Okay, and if everybody will read with me, here we go. Center for Spiritual Living Visalia is the place everyone comes together, connecting in love and learning how to create abundant, joyful, and peaceful lives. I guess that's it. Okay. And now we're going to introduce our first song. I'd like to teach the world to sing.
I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love, grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace and both the land. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to build the world a home and furnish it with love. Grow apple trees and honeybees and snow white turtle doves. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I like to hold it in my arms and keep it company. I'd like to see the world for once, all standing hand in hand, and hear them echo through the hills for peace throughout the land. That's the song I hear, the world to sing. Song I hear, perfect harmony. That's the song I hear them echo through the hills. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. And I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing, oh, in perfect harmony. I'd like to teach the world to sing in perfect harmony.
That was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, next we have the diversity quote by Carol. Oh,
Nice to see you. Hi. Oh, this thing. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, great. Let me know if you can't. All right. My name's Bonnie Carlia, and I am a representative of the Diversity and Inclusivity team. Thank you. And I've got a couple of things before we get to the quote. Yesterday, we participated in the Cesar Chavez March, and we also did some tabling at COS, College of the Sequoias, afterwards. Yesterday was the 30th anniversary of the event, and I was asked to say a few words about it. Tino, one of our people on the team, had told us about it. This center wants to be more involved in community events, and so I mentioned it to him, and he said, "I know one you can join in and help with," and he has been a member of this organization, the Cesar Chavez Legacy Group, for years. And so we said, okay, what can we do? And so Carol and Bobby, also on the team, Donna O and Donna K with her wonderful markers. We made posters for the march, and then several other people helped. Oh, and Lori Burkhart also helped with the posters. And then several of us on the team went and did tabling at the event. Also, Sima and Lynn, Bev, and her nephew, Richard. Make sure I get everybody on here. Bobby and Carol. And Tino, of course, was one of the marchers. So I just want to thank everybody. I hope I got everybody in there. I think I did. It was a wonderful day. It lasted pretty much all day. The marchers marched from the Oval to COS. They took a couple of breaks. And when they came to COS, when they arrived at COS, everybody felt such inspiration when they came. There were Aztec dancers dancing, there were drums playing, and when we saw them come, one of our people who work here, Sima, I think, said that at first she felt a tinge of anger because why did they need to exist in the first place? Because of the oppression of people who worked in the field, farm workers, that for so many years had suffered because of a lack of rights and terrible, terrible working conditions in the first place. And when they all arrived, we applauded. We said, "Sí se puede," and it just gave us chills to see them arrive, and it was quite an event. So in the future, when we have in next year when this event comes again, I hope to see even more people out there and encourage. There's so much to do in the community here with this and other events. So it just proved that it gives, even though it takes effort to plan and organize, and then thank heavens for sunscreen to be outside all day long. It's it's worth it. It rejuvenates one. It makes you feel like you're part of something, and it's well worth the effort and time. So, just saying, thank you. It makes one feel grateful, right? Certainly does. Thank you so much. Okay, now for the quote. In order to acquire anything in the universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This does not mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. A very powerful thing to do. Deepak Chopra. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Bonnie. That's one of the statements I had to read that myself, and that's pretty powerful if you think about it. And that's something I got to work to because I'm always struggling with that idea. But when you got it, boy, you've got it. Okay, we have 14. Science of Mind has 14 what we believe statements, and we are going to, and each month we're taking a look at each one. And this month, we've got one here, and please read with me what we believe. We believe in the healing of the sick through the power of this mind. That's another good one. Thank you. Okay, let's have our next song, and if everyone will stand and sing the congregational song.
If you are able, please stand with us. We would love for you to sing with us. Lyrics are going to be on the screen. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. I think we got it. Here we go. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done to me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. All right, let me hear you sing it. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's done to me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Here we go together. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a brand new start. Right here, right now, I'm gonna make a change in my heart. Everything I need, I now receive, and it's unto me as I believe. Right here, right now, where I am. Let's do that one more time. Here we go. Right here, right now, where I am. One more time. Right here, right now, where I am.
Thank you very much. That was wonderful. All right. Okay. Well, it's time for our talk from our guest speaker. And I hope I get this right. It's Reverend Saundria Jennings. There you go. I got it finally. And here she is. Her talk is Planning My Intentions.
That I rewrote about 4 o'clock this morning. Oh, can you hear me without the mic? Okay. They can't. Okay. Okay, got you. So it's good, so good to see you guys again. I thought about you. I've been thinking about you, been praying about you, been praying for you. And it's just lovely to know that you're here and you're present and that God is with you and with all of us. And it's just a wonderful coming together of folks who believe in God and who believe in themselves. So isn't it a coincidence that Deepak was talking about intentions? And I said, well, that must be a sign of my presentation this morning. Now, I'm of the old school, so I have paper. And so the new generation has a computer. I haven't learned how to do that yet. So I've got the papers right on, huh? I've got the papers, and I'll look over here at the papers, and then I'll look up at you. And we're going to talk first about the definition of intention. And the definition of intention is a focus without wavering on the desired outcome. Now, in that is another thing that's happening there. Without wavering, what is that? That's faith. So intention is wrapping around the idea of faith as well. So in planting the seeds of intention, or planting our intentions, there's a modicum, there's a truth in having faith in it as well. And I want to go back to Deepak before I go further with that. And he says, letting go of the desired or our outcome or our desired outcome. Because if we let go of our desired outcome, and if we don't let go of it, we may miss the miracle. We may miss the miracle because we're blinded to what only we see here and not what's the miracle that's coming from here or the miracle that's coming from here or either direction or any direction. So if we let go of how we think it should be, because God's got jokes, okay? God has so many jokes and a sense of humor, and will twist things and turn things around, and your miracle may come from over here. You're at the airport, and your miracle's coming from the dock. Okay, so letting go of how we think things should happen is the truth and the key to all of this working well with us. And the key also is to be grateful for everything that's going around, because you may miss your miracle for complaining about how it's so awful. And your miracles come down and sit before you, and you've missed it because you're complaining about stuff that changes from moment to moment. So let's go back to intention again, and that focus and that faith that is embedded in intention. And let me talk about some things that have happened to me. And faith, is the idea that you're holding on to something that you don't see. You're holding on that there's something there, there's an outcome there, and you don't see it. But your faith is, because you don't see it, you're holding. You're holding intention. You're holding the idea. You know that that is true for you. And it's like when you go to the salt water, like the sea, I've swam in the sea. And even though you don't see the support, that salt water just makes you just buoyant. And even if you're in a pool, the more you relax, the better you float. And you don't see the support, but you have faith. You know that it is there. Let me give you some examples. So I'm a grandmother of two, and Milo is the youngest, and he is very deep spiritually, because he looks at people and he doesn't get involved, and he's checking things out and looking around. And so we decided we were going out to eat. And we were at this kind of place where you eat, and we're sitting down at the tables, and he decides he's going to close his eyes and he's not going to look at anybody. So he's sitting there, he closes his eyes. And we're doing everything, because he has an older sister, and she's calling his name, and I'm punching him a little bit and stuff. And you can see him kind of waver and kind of open his eyes and smile at me, and then close them down again, and his eyelids are fluttering. And then you see his intention come through. And his face does something, it changes, it relaxes, and his jaw is set, not angry, but you just see that come right through. And nothing that we could do could make him open his eyes. The only thing that made him open his eyes is we got up and started to leave. And he said, okay, I'm back. And that's the way intention can be. You can feel in your spirit. And Reverend Jack will say, not on my watch. That's his intention being set. That's his intention. And I was at the marina, and the intention is also with people who find these parking spaces as marvelous parking spaces where there is none. I go to the marina, take the dog to the marina. It's packed. It's packed. That's a condition. And conditions, if we focus on them, they're nothing but things that change from moment to moment. So if I focused on the condition, then I would miss something, because it's changing. Like with our political situations, with all economic situations, with everything that's happening, all of that is changing moment by moment. And we cannot anchor ourselves on what is shifting sand. So I go to the marina. It's packed. It's Sunday. Everybody and the daughter and granddaughter and children and dogs are out there. No parking spaces. My intention is I want to go walk the dog. But then if I say, if I don't find a parking place, I'm going home. Wavering intention. And guess what doesn't happen? I don't find a parking place and I go home. If I said, come something or high water, you can fill in that first blank. I'm going to walk this dog today. I want to do this. The last time I said that, you have to be careful when you do that. Woman almost hit me, backing out in front of me. I said, God, you have a sense of humor. but thank you anyway. So I took the last available parking space and we walked the dog. Also, these people who find these incredible parking spaces, set your intention and have faith in it. And the way to have faith in it is go back to past experiences when this did happen before and bring it forward. If you want to go into the movie and if you're wavering about your intention, guess what? You're going home or you're parking 4 blocks away. If you're saying, this is my intention, I am going to get a perfect parking place. I found places in front of the building. Unbelievable places when everything else was filled. So it's about your intention. I'll call you attention to, have you guys all seen the Indiana Jones series, the movies from Indiana Jones? Did you see The Last Crusade? Okay, some of you have and some of you haven't. In The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones's father is in this movie, and the father is somewhere, and Indiana Jones has to get someplace else to help the father. He's in the cave. He's running in the cave, and he comes to a precipice, and it's something that he can not possibly leap over. You can't even see the bottom of it. And he comes to the edge of this precipice, and he says, and you can see his face, and he's all contorted and kind of sweaty, and just the idea of, I can't leap over this thing. I don't know what to do now. And he hears his father's voice saying, you have to do this, you have to get to the other side. He doesn't know. He has a little book, and he hears a voice that says, if you believe, there will be a bridge that will appear. And Indiana Jones has to step out into nothingness. That's faith. He garners it up because he doesn't have it in the beginning, as most of us don't. In the beginning, you're like, oh, holy cow. And you know, we've been there, I've been there as well. So he steps out and the bridge comes right under his feet. Now, as I interpret it, but that's not the way the movie had it, the bridge just continued and showed itself all the way over to the other side. In my mind, I got the interpretation that the bridge came under his feet with every step that he took. In terms of faith is a moment by moment decision that God is there, that there is something there that supports me and is an outcome that comes from the love of God that's always there for me, regardless of what I see out here. The stability of God is the only thing that does not change. And then I have to know that I don't anchor myself again on shifting sand. So we bring it back. And so he walks across on his faith, that he gets to the other side. So there's another part to this. There's 3 parts. There's your intention. There's your faith that is embedded in your intention. And there's your intuition. So the intuition is the part that comes through. And then people say, how do you know it's your voice? How do you know it's your intuition? You know it because it comes through in a very different way. If it's your ego, you oh, I don't know if I should do that. Or, oh, what if I do it this way? Or what if I do it that way? What will happen? That's not your intuition. That's not the voice of God. The voice of God, I often say I'm someplace quiet and the voice of God will come through. And I think it comes through on the right side of my, it could be coming from anywhere, I don't know. But I feel like it comes from the right side. It is clear. It is concise. It doesn't talk about anything except go this way. Turn that way. Don't say that. Just short. It has nothing but love in it, and it has nothing to do with damaging another person, getting somebody back. The tuition comes through. Now, this is what happened to me as a parent, because I was a parent at a late age. I was 43 when I became a parent, and I adopted Oliver. And we were walking on the marina with the dogs, and it was getting dark. And I said, well, let's go down this path. And Oliver said, Mom, I don't feel comfortable going down that path. And I said, let me honor your intuitive voice. Now, I've seen a lot of parents when kids have done things and said, well, I don't feel like this is good to do, or I feel like we should do something else. And parents says, come on, boy, shut up, let's go that way. But I wanted to make Oliver street worthy. So then when I was not there, he had entrusted his own GPS, his own God protection service, okay, that guides you, that tells you this is the right path. This is the time to be quiet. This is the time to meditate. This is the time to go over and talk to this young man. This is the time to shake her hand. That voice. So the three parts then are your intention. Embedded in that is your faith. And how you do it is through your intuition. Because what we sometimes think is, oh, I have my intention and I have my faith, and I'm just going to let God do it. Well, sometimes that's not, sometimes you got to get up and do something too. And so that intention helps you to guide what is yours to do. Remember last time I talked about keeping your hands and head inside the coach when you're on the train? That means you don't get caught up in that dirt devil that you see going out there. You don't get caught up in it. Yes, it's there. Yes, what do I need to do now? Pull my head and hands into the coach, go into myself and my awareness of who I am, and follow what it is mine to do in this. What is mine to say? What is mine to think? What is mine to support other people in doing? So Reverend Jack again says, what is that he says about, there's something, I can't remember, age is snapping up on me right now, about, doing what you're supposed to do in terms of following and being active. You treat and move your feet. That's what it is. You treat and move your feet. I couldn't remember what it was for a moment. So that means not sitting down, although sometimes prayer is all that is needed. And sometimes when an intuitive voice tells you to do something else, that's what's needed too. And in that time, you don't sit down and say, well, I'll just pray on it. When the voice has said, you need to go down the street, or you need to pick up something from the grocery store, or you need to do whatever it is. Okay? So there are people in the Bible as well. And you help me out because you know what? In the spur of the moment, I found 3 men. And I said, the ladies in this congregation are not going to appreciate that I have no women in here, but I couldn't think of a woman. And I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just say that in advance. I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry. Noah had intention. Noah had faith, and he did what his intuitive voice told him to do. Absolutely perfect. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego in the fiery furnace had an intention. They were not going to sell God out. And they had their faith in part of their intention. And they were told intuitively how to walk around in the fire. And they said there was something else in there with them. Perfect example. And they say that when the Red Sea was parted, it was part of some atmospheric condition. And in the middle of the night, it hit me. It's still God. So they're trying to debunk that the Red Sea parted like it did, and the Egyptians got drowned and the whole thing, and that it was not true. But when you look at it, it's still God. If it happened that, that it happened by some atmospheric river or whatever those things are, or whatever that came through there, it still is a representative of God's work. And they still walk through. The last one I could think of was Daniel in the lion's den. Intention was not to sell out God. And his focus and his faith led him through the lion's den. He's standing up there the next day and they ain't ate nothing. Have not eaten him. He's still alive. He's still there with his intention, with his focus, and with his intuitive sense to be right there. So we got people, I know you've got things in your life where you set your intention, you say, not on my watch. Oh, heck no, we won't go. Whatever is in your mind that is very clear. And when you have your intention, it feels very different than when you're just having some thought of something else. And so when we focus on that, so what I told you also about was the idea of intention and how it feels much different than a regular thought or a being. Now, tell me, I know the live streaming, they can't hear you, but can you think of some women in the Bible who had intentions? Can you think of Jesus' mother, Mary? Yes, huh? Sarah? Okay, because last night I couldn't think of a one, and I said that, and I know there are many, but I just could not think of those. So Sarah, Jesus' mother, Mary, Esther. Look at the three things. Their intention was to be in communication with God. Their faith was wrapped in it. They followed what God told them to do intuitively, without question. They did those things. So you can trace that too for the three men that I told you about. What's the matter? What happened? What you got laughing at? What did I do? Huh? Oh yeah, what did I do? Because they're laughing over here, and I didn't know what happened. I missed the joke. Mary Magdalene as well. When they went to the tomb and wrapped Jesus in the cloth and did what they were supposed to do, following, almost like you would say, talking about something being followed blindly, but intentionally and with faith. So I now know for us, each one of you, you've had an episode, you've had a situation in your life where you set an intention. And thank you, is it David, for your testimony this morning, setting his intentions, being mindful and focused, and things coming to him, miracles falling out of the sky. Now, I want you to know also in how your faith works is you have to be in present time with your faith. You get in trouble if you go to past experiences. Because what happens when you think about the past? You get regrets. Now, sometimes you can get joy, something's happy and stuff, but a lot of times when you're thinking in past tense, what should have happened, what didn't happen. Oh, I'm so embarrassed. What did I say? Not in present time. Think about what you go to the future. What's the thing that comes up most when you go and hunting in the future? What comes up? Anxiety. What else comes up? Fear in the future. So faith is only in the present moment. Look at you guys. You don't know how faithful you are. Sometimes you think, I don't have any faith. I don't have a lot. You stepped out of bed and expected the floor to be underneath you this morning, and it was. You got in your car and you expected it to start, and it did. You expected to get here, and guess what? You got here. Faith. Every morning when you go down a 2-lane highway, you expect everybody to be on the other side. Right? Am I right? That's your faith. Now, sometimes things happen. Things happen. But we also say we have to look in the miracle of everything, regardless of how it appears to us. Because in the pony stuff, there's always a pony. There's always a pony. So you put in the words. When I say stuff, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So your faith got you. You are faithful people. You are faithful people. What we're doing now is just helping you to increase your faith. As a part of your evolution, you are increasing, you're going forward, and you're constantly always growing into eternity. Because God promises us eternity. So we're always evolving, we're always changing, we're always getting better. Now, some of us have started a little bit behind some of the others of us, but we have to have faith that they too will eventually get it and move forward and be better than they are. We're all looking for better. I don't know if we'll ever become perfect, but we're looking for better. And in that, I'm prompted to say to you, we're also looking to allow other people to become better. I've had some friends say to me, oh, she'll never get any better. She's not going to do any better. So how dare you curse them like that? Because if you curse them like that and you're holding it in your head, guess what happens? They get better and you don't see it. Because you're coming out of your own perception. You're coming out of what you think. They could give you $1 million and you're still saying, they ain't never get better. They're going to always be the same, always a mess up, always doing goofy things and stuff. So we anticipate that we will get better because it is promised to us that we do. As we evolve, we get better. We move closer to God. Closer, not to God, but closer to our awareness of God. We can't be none of us can be any closer to God. The key is being aware of what is already inside us and having faith that we are loved beyond measure and that God would never tell us anything to do that would be for the destruction of us or for the destruction of anyone else. That is what we believe. That is our faith. That is how we set our intention. And that is the voice we hear in our intuition that tells us. I had an encounter once upon a time, and this is open for anybody. And I don't know if I told you guys this time last time, but I was in a home, and the guy was ministering out of his home. And he was doing readings for people. And so he was telling people what he saw for them. And I'm sitting there and go, I wish he would read for me. He turned immediately. He heard me because we're all one. So what I say, you know. When you know, I can say it, I know. So he turned and he came right up on me. And the heat and energy in this man, in this God, and I pulled back like this, I recoiled, and I couldn't do anything but cry. I just was like, this is nothing like anything I have ever experienced in my life. And he read about my time, and he took his hand and stroked my cheek. That was not him. That was not him. And he told me how much I was loved. And he told me how much I was cared for. And he told me this was my season. And this was, and he called me dear one. And then when he was finished, the lights went out and he slumped in a chair. And I went up to him and I said, do you remember what you told me? And he says, I don't remember anything. He had no recollection. He knew that he was exhausted. So I learned 2 things or 3 things. The love of God is awesome, unlike anything we have ever experienced here. And that is within us, each one of us. And I also learned that God's intensity to be in someone in that kind of situation would be enough to kill us. I mean, you couldn't go around with that all the time because he was exhausted, and it was just a glimmer of seeing God and seeing the light of God shining through. Just a glimmer of it. And I will never, ever forget it. Never, ever forget it. So if you have any ideas or you have any idea that there's no God, tain't so. It is not true. There is a spirit. And again, I can't stress to you, it's in each one of us. Regardless, my minister says, sometimes God is in drag. Reverend Andrea says that sometimes. And she also says, and I want to add this in here now, this is not a mountaintop teaching. I'm teaching you what I am also working with, trying to affirm, not trying to, but affirming, getting a mindset, getting an idea, getting an intention, and strengthening my faith. How do we do it? Prayer. How do we do it? Affirmations. How do we do it? Meditation. How do we do it? Sitting and listening. How do we do it? Being kind to each other. Now, you don't have to be, it's not about being a soft touch, because the first thing you're kind to is self. You're loving yourself. And the second thing out of that is you love other folk. That doesn't mean that you put up a lot of stuff. That means you go on your way if there's too much stuff for you to put up with, and you bless them and you go forward. What does it mean? It means blessing everything, even that, blessing that. See, and it went away. This bless you. Blessing the animals. Blessing somebody that gets on your last nerve. And I guarantee you, if you bless them long enough, it'll shift. I guarantee it. You can call me in a couple of, it may take a year. It may take a couple of years. But how much time do you give a baby to walk? You put a time limit on it? So blessing it increases your faith, holding the high watch, not getting caught up in, acknowledging something, but not staying there in the minutia, in the garbage that's going to change, and doing what you need to do in that instance that God tells you to do to strengthen who you are and strengthen your relationship in God. So my time is about up, but I love you. I just want you to remember that there is a spirit in you, and there's a spirit around you that loves you more than anything that you can ever, ever imagine. And that spirit is working for you, supplying your every need, protecting you, guiding you, directing. All right, my loves. I'm going to end there for the moment. I want to pray with you near the end. But for this moment, I'm just saying, I bless you. And I send love through me to you from you know who. Praise your name. Praise you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was wonderful. I'm going to carry those ideas and thoughts with me the rest of the day and into my week. Okay, we're going to have a special movie, special music, receiving chant. Okay.
I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind and just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Ooh, I do believe I will receive. Just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Ooh, I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Ooh, I do believe I will receive. I just have to know and then declare it to be so with an open mind. Just a little bit of time. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. Ooh, 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 ooh. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine. If it serves my highest good, then it will be mine.
Thank you. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to have the conscious giving portion of our service. So I'm ask two ushers to come forward, please. And we're going to read together, we're going to read the prosperity prayer. Here we go. Today, I expect every good thing to come to me, for I know that divine abundance is forever manifesting itself in my affairs. I am keeping my whole mind and thought and expectation open to new experiences, to happier events, to a more complete self-expression. Everything that belongs to the Spirit, I accept. Everything that partakes of the nature of divine reality, I claim as my own. I identify with success and I prosper in everything I do. As I give thanks for the good now flowing into my life, I gladly share that good with others. The more I give, the more I receive. I experience a deeper consciousness of peace and security, for I know that I am in the embrace of a warm, loving presence. My cup runneth over. I exist in limitless possibility. Thank you. Okay. Ushers, go forward and for those out in the broadcast world, you'll see information if you wish to make a donation. Okay. We bless these gifts and give thanks for all the good that they will manifest. And so it is.
So it is.
Okay. Oops. Okay. Um, I think it's time now for the closing and benediction.
I'm going to do a spiritual mind treatment and a benediction wrapped together. I don't think it's been done before, okay? So we'll see. Hook us up. Okay. You guys are beautiful. You are wonderful. You are God's chosen children, God's seed, inheriting everything from the living God. So if you just take a breath and just take that in, just take in the power of God's love in your life, in your hearts. I know that there is only one loving spirit. That spirit is the Spirit of God. I know that this Spirit covers everything that I can think of, everything that has existed, everything that exists now, and everything moving forward into eternity and spreading into infinity. I know that this is a God of strength, the power, and infinite possibility. And this God lives in my life now, is in my heart, is in my being, my mind, and my soul. And it is in the mind and being and heart and soul of every individual, every sentient being. Everything is encompassed. There is nothing outside of God. And I know for myself in this congregation, I know for everyone I proclaim that God is the seat of my existence. God is the seat of my soul, and it holds my spirit, uplifts my, heals my body, and transforms me. Transforms me, is ever working on my behalf, my protector, my lover, my friend, my nurturer. And so I'm just giving thanks for this day. I'm giving thanks for this congregation. I'm giving thanks that we are in connection. We are in God's love. I'm giving thanks for the faith that got us here and the faith that will carry us home. I'm giving thanks. And I just know, I know that we are so blessed. And every day we're more sensitive to the blessings that come into our lives. I just release the grace that is. I release this mind treatment, this benediction. I'm not supposed to release benedictions, but I release all of this into the power of spirit, into the power and the law. And I rest well in it. Angels going forth, granting my every desire, rooted in love, forgiveness, kindness, nurture. And I just say, and so it is. If you agree with me, please anchor it with me by saying, and so it is. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's time to form our circle and sing the peace song.
with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, these begin with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, this is my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment